where you stay in your residential public street, not a gated society, but your residential public street, are you getting all the services that say, do you have dustbins on your street? Do you have benches? Do you have a lot of the things that make a beautiful city to live in? Whatever I'll be showing you is something that you can do yourself. And I really want to emphasize that point, that you don't need architects or certified famous urban designers to improve the world around you. So with that being said, let's focus on the words in the title: retrofitting urban spaces. So to create ecological balance. So many keywords there, right? And you could delve a lot into each of those words. What does it mean to retrofit? Why urban spaces? And what exactly is an ecological balance? And more pertinently, is ecological balance the only thing that we should try to do? And how to achieve that? Is a direct method going to help you achieve an ecological balance, or are there indirect methods as well that can help you achieve your objectives? So let's start with the thing called as urban spaces. Why urban spaces? So let us sort of zoom out and take a moment to understand where we are at in this journey of civilization or the Indian nation. Right now, it's the year 2023, and we are at an inflection point almost. So we are right now the most populous nation on planet Earth. 1/6 of the world is us, India. The world's second largest human migration ever is taking place right now in an invisible fashion. And that migration is basically the transition from a rural civilization to an urban civilization. And it happens like almost once in entire history of mankind, possibly. So China went through it, and now the second largest, India, is going through it. But again, let's focus on the word urban. India, if you look at prehistoric times, was actually an urban civilization. Way before the Vedic era, we had the mighty Indus Valley or the Harappan civilization, and they were the first urbanists in the world. They had fantastically designed and planned cities which had sewage systems, which had benches, which had standardization, which had canopy shade trees to assist the pedestrians. So India is not new to urbanism, is what I'm trying to say. But right now, again, coming back to the present, where are we at? We were promised 100 smart cities. And I'm sure a lot of all those who have joined are from various corners of India. So I don't think I need to say it. You should look at your own city, and probably it's a rhetorical question, but is your city smart? Since the mission was announced in 2014, it's been almost 10 years. Is your city smart? So like maybe 1/7 of your life has gone by. Is your city smart? How long are you prepared to wait? What is the definition of smart, for that matter? At the same time, do you even know how many cities are there in India? So I don't think we have that much time to conduct a poll question or something. But There are 4,300 cities in India by official government definition with population of over 1 lakh. There are possibly 5 lakh, 6 lakh villages on top of it. So we have to ask ourselves, we want to be a developed nation. So where do we, in what lifetime do we achieve it? And what is the budget? What is the timeline and what is the budget for it? So what is happening right now? If we again take just a scanning look at it, what is happening right now is there are 30 riverfront projects going on, massive riverfront projects. There are a lot of new cities being built and almost all of them have been absolute failures. And I don't want to mince any words here. You take a look at Amravati, you take a look at Lavasa, you take a look at Dholera, you take a look at possibly Gift City, Gandhinagar, even to that matter Chandigarh, which is as such said to be a very planned city, but is it a Mumbai? Is it a Pune? Is it a Pimpri Chinchwad? Is it a Hosur or even a let's say Noida or Gurgaon? So I want to give you a sense that this is the level of the problem, that where you stay in your residential public street, not a gated society, but your residential public street, are you getting all the services that say an Amsterdam or a Copenhagen or a Brussels would have? Do you have dustbins on your street? Do you have benches? Do you have a lot of the things that make a beautiful city to live in? And again, this is possibly the perfect time to have this talk, because what are we noticing right now? Delhi is completely flooded. The Yamuna has found its natural course next to the Red Fort right now. Last year, Pakistan, 1/3 of Pakistan, which was almost, we considered them as part of our civilization only. So 1/3 of it was submerged, $30 billion of loss for them. So where are we headed? Where are we headed? Bangladesh is preparing itself to be drowned in the next 3 decades. Same is probably on the cards for Mumbai, with cyclones, 3-4 cyclones hitting every summer. So with that being said, I'd like to now quickly just tell you what I've been up to and talk a little bit of my personal journey. But it was important to give you this macro picture as well, because right now we feel helpless. Okay, we feel absolutely panicked, anxious, stressed. We are worried about, I'm no longer that young, but we are worried about the Gen Z, like the future generations that are going to come. And what are we leaving them behind with? Supply side inflation due to climate crisis, more pandemics. What are we leaving them with? Billions of dollars of damage due to flooded infrastructure and loss in real estate value and all those things. I'd like to just quickly share my screen and give you a contrast. So I currently stay in Pune and I've been living here for 7 years. I'd like to give you a contrast, and that should maybe give you a sense of what my personal journey has been like in the past 7 to 10 years. So this is a famous road in Pune called Jangli Maharaj Road. And this is going to be an interesting Zoom talk. But what you're seeing here is basically a street view, an interactive street view of what Pune is like. So I don't like to call myself a person from a small town, like a small town boy. छोटे छोटे शहरों से खाली बोर दोपहरों से but I was the sort of person जो to pursue education झोला उठा के चले पुणे की तरफ. And then when I arrived in Pune at the age of 19, I'm currently 30 now. For the first time, I felt like not littering the streets. For the first time, I just didn't casually throw a lace ka wrapper on the street. And I'd like, perhaps what I'm showing you right now will give you a sense why I felt that way. And immediately upon coming to Pune, I, like literally the first week in Pune, first week of my college, I knew there was something different about this place. I couldn't quite put a finger on it. That what is it so different over here? But over time, as I went through my design education and I guess I became a bit mature, I started realizing things, and obviously started watching TED Talks and YouTube videos and all those things. So what are you seeing here? You're seeing almost 100-year-old trees here. It's a mind-blowing canopy. Okay, you are seeing a complete continuous footpath on the side, which is like uninterrupted and wheelchair friendly. Within the footpath, there are like additional rows of greenery. Like there are bioswales to capture rainwater, and it's just like if you are over here, like if you are at a dhaba versus a 5-star hotel, the same person talks differently, walks differently, dresses differently. I'm here in a Zoom call, I'm wearing this shirt because it's kind of formal, right? So the same person behaves differently in different settings. And I this is all common sense. I hope there's no rocket science over here. So what is going on here? Is harping on ecology, and when we say ecology, maybe another word for it could be environment. But is environment just trees and bees, or is environment something else? Is environment also the condition of your footpaths, the condition of your roads, the civic amenities that are provided? How walkable is your neighborhood? Or is it just a 12-lane highway where SUVs, drivers are going? So what I really want to emphasize here is sometimes, in fact often, an indirect approach is going to lead you to an ecological zenith. I have seen a focus on in terms of it's nothing political. There's nothing who's going to oppose the fact that we want to clean. You can clean your streets every day. You can go pick up somebody else's cigarette butts and Vimal packets and whatnot. But it's going to come there the next week back, and are you going to go and clean it again? And what I really want, behavioral change happens through obviously education, and we are doing plenty of that. We have been taught about swachhata and water conservation and greenery in our school, even in our college. Our newspapers, our Instagrams are flooded with it. But still, why are we, facing the same issue? So behavioral change happens through social aspects, is what I would say. If your street looks slightly designed and slightly better, automatically you incentivize somebody to behave better, is what I'm trying to point out. And obviously infrastructure matters. And by infrastructure, I don't mean like imagine a giant flyover which would cutting through this. That's not great, right? To have the feel of a city. But by infrastructure, I mean things like a dustbin, or just next to the dustbin, you can see, ability to sit, like there are benches and there are signboards, and even the nature of the shops. How far away are the shops from the footpath? That itself is enough of that street. Now let me show you where I come from. This is where I'm currently staying. Let me show you now quickly where I come from. This is Baroda, okay, also known as Vadodara. Now Gujarat is one of the richest and often touted as one of the most developed states, okay? And Baroda is the cultural capital, just like Pune is the cultural. I think Baroda performed and not lived up to its potential. Had a few, or rather a lot of small decisions gone correctly, Baroda would right now have a population of 50 lakh. But it's right now just having a population of 21 lakh. And it went through that. Every time I came to Pune, it was so lively. Pedestrians would throng the streets, the commerce, everything was just, it was a happening city. And that is why people are thronging to places like Bangalore, Mumbai, Pune. But what is happening to all the tier 2, tier 3 cities where most of us are? There are people leaving for USA, Canada, Australia, but even people just there's a flight of talent and a flight of education and consciousness as well. So the people, the rich, educated people who otherwise would have developed the city or would have educated the neighborhood or tried to improve the neighborhood, I saw my friends leaving, my school friends just leaving Baroda. Trishant left Baroda to go to Hyderabad, the moderator. So I'll show you my home street. This is what my home street looks like. This is what my home street looks like. Now, granted, some aspects of it are completely not completely, but can be attributed to geography. But there's a lot of sociology and culture involved here as well. And I really want to emphasize that it is not that Baroda cannot grow trees. It is not that there are no native trees that can grow in Gujarat's arid conditions and whatever. Okay. In fact, in a place where there is a lack of certain things, the population there should try double hard, triple hard to catch up. Okay. But then what I saw happening over 4 or 5 years until I finally graduated from college as a user experience designer, I saw just, so where we are right now, there is only one species of bird that can be ever seen. And you are seeing them right now on your screen. Just pigeons. Just pigeons. And I really felt like after graduating, when I was about to take my job, why should I even return? Why should I return back to this place where nothing happens, where there's no like interesting streets, or there's no serendipity of bumping into somebody or whatever. No fancy restaurants are there, themed cafes, boutique cafes and things like that. Why should I even return? Why not just stay in Pune? So I decided upon graduating in 2016 that if I'm to come back to Baroda, I'm gonna change this for my own home neighborhood, and I will not rest until that happens. Because in summer it is touching 48-49 degrees Celsius here, and one should just extrapolate what will happen 10 years down the line. So again, if you look at this street, it's just a sea of asphalt that I see. From horizon to horizon, it's just a lot of asphalt. There are like 6-lane roads and there's hardly any footpath. And I felt this sense of dysphoria that I felt ripped out, and I didn't know where I even belong. Do I belong in Pune or do I belong in Baroda? What do I do? So I decided to put my talents to some use. And again, I am not an architect, not an urban designer. And I started to question, like, where are we going wrong? Why are all these architects, urban designers not doing anything? Where is the municipality? And why do they not even have their finances in check? Why do they not have the money to do all this? What is going wrong? What is wrong with the population? That the most obvious things are not happening. So it's just, and this neighborhood of mine has been flooded multiple times each year, like anything. And it completely gets flooded because there's like, where is the open soil? Now there are storms, divert the water downstream, and the villages downstream then completely flood. So now I'll take you through the street I've been retrofitting, and I call this Adhikar Path. And over time, what happened was that I started with nothing. I didn't know. I had never touched even a bamboo stick before. Each and every person in this country of 143 crore people can, be it a child, be it an elderly, man, woman, transgender, possibly even the disabled and the illiterate. So now suddenly, as you enter this street, there are more trees. But it wasn't always so. This street was completely barren when I began in 2016. The central divider was completely barren. The soil was white in color. There were twisters of sand whenever the wind blew. And as I said, one species of bird, pigeon, that's it. But now this is kind of what it looks like. It's a work in progress. And we started doing a lot of things. So we started with the most basic thing, that what is the most uncontroversial thing that nobody would mind. And I started targeting places which I knew nobody would have a problem with, because the center divider is nobody's property. Huge sense of, hey, I'm breaking the law by planting a tree, because we are all grown up in this very regimented system where we feel that we have to ask permission for every single thing. But the more I started to question, it was like, hey, people don't take permission to urinate on the street or spit pan on the street. Shadi ka barat nikalta hai, political rallies or whatever, like 100 things happen. Cattle is let loose on the street, people throw litter on the street. So many things happen without permission. So what's the problem if I start planting something or painting something? So I sort of built my own courage that way, and obviously I had a help of friends like Krishant and many others who completely aided me in the journey. So what I'll try to show you here is the shop shutter that we painted. And what I really wanted was just a bit of Pune in my Baroda street. And now I want this to become the best street in Gujarat. That is my ambition right now. And then slowly, as you start learning more, you start developing confidence, you start thinking of the higher objectives. And it's really important, I feel, to go through this journey, because until we know how to or feel confident to even dig up one paver block,